time to come to the Ministry of Tourism stand. As you can see, there's a whole host of all our products and services, the departments within the ministry, the statutory bodies within the ministry, and also our partners within the Ministry of Tourism who are here to support our venture, the cause of what we're here for. First of all, I just want to thank the Show Society organizers for having invited us here. This is the 97th show in Zambia. The Show Society, as you may be well aware, is over 100 years, but this time around we're celebrating the 97th, the point that as Zambia, agriculture is one of our mainstays. Agriculture, together with mining, together with tourism, our sector, as well as energy infrastructure, are the cornerstones, or rather the building blocks of our economy. I took time to go around courtesy of the Show Society board to see what is happening here in the showgrounds. I must say very quickly, I'm very, very impressed with the organization happening here. Most of the stands predominantly do not actually get completed by the time we are touring them after judging, but this time around we've seen a number of the stands being worked on and already ready for judging. And also understanding the fact that the Show Society, the agriculture show, is not all about agri, but also trade, the commerce side of the business is what we're looking for. And having seen what we saw today in the few hours that I've toured the stand, together with our very own stand, I must indicate to you that Zambia is poised for progress. Zambia is in a position where we're going to see a lot of progress. Currently, we're growing at a GDP rate of 4%, with a projected of 6% by the end of the year, something that we're very proud about, despite the many challenges that we're faced with. Obviously, we're talking about the debt yoke that we had, and currently, we are looking at seeing how best we could grow the economy. Now, specifically to tourism, members of the press, I'm very, very delighted to announce. Just yesterday, Mr. President met a few private sector stakeholders in the tourism sector, obviously to re-emphasize and to just echo our sentiments, which were speaking to the fact that the tourism sector was growing. Last year, when we experienced the most dreaded drought in our living memory, tourism was singled out as one particular sector that actually bolstered our GDP as a country. So we need to really give ourselves a pat on the back, considering the fact that our three big brothers, as I would like to call them, mining, agriculture, energy itself, were on its knees. But in surprise, surprise, tourism actually came to the table to actually make sure that the economy grew. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to use this opportunity to just announce publicly that we, as the Minister of Tourism, has been looking at ways and means on how we could actually track these particular numbers. What does 2.2 million visitors, international arrivals, mean? What does 500,000 domestic visitors mean? It's just but a number. But what we want to see as the ministry is to see how best those numbers can translate into real revenue, and they can translate into real jobs. That for us is our core business. That is what we want to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to announce today that by the first half of 2025, as we exited 0.2, essentially in 2024, as at exit mid-year 2025, we are sitting at about 1.2 million international arrivals. Now, this is against the 1.1 million same period last year. Essentially, if you do your flash forecast, you'll be able to you understand that we're already on the trajectory of meeting our 2.4 million numbers. Now, our president obviously is as ambitious as I am. Just yesterday, he was talking about towards 3 million. I was speaking to my team the other day, many forums, to say I'm looking at 3 million because it's achievable. We are able to attain the 3 million very, very easily. So I want to indicate to you that as we're sitting here, the 2.4 million international arrivals is in the horizon. Now, I just want to also just prep you members of the media that because we are getting more and more granular with the way we pick our numbers, we are now in talks with a number of our MNOs, mobile network operators in the country, the three that we know, the Zamtels, the Airtels, and the MTNs, to see how we can populate numbers in terms of domestic arrivals. What you've been seeing, what we've been reporting over a period of time, it's a legacy issue. We've been reporting it for the last X number of years, from time immemorial, is visitations to public institutions, visitations to public amenities. In this case, we're talking about museums, national parks, the various waterfalls dotted across the country. But this time around, we're going to focus on what we would recall as tourism development areas, tourism sites, areas where you, our domestic tourists, you, the Zambians, are able to visit, and we can only locate you using our technology which resides with the mobile network operators. Now, I just want to also indicate to you that we're not spying on you, or rather, we're not going to pry on you to say this is where we want to find where Mr. Matongo is, but just purely based on how to use that data to be able to serve you better. Information is power. Information is something that will be able to now deliver a proper service to you. So by the end of the year, the team is working very, very tirelessly to see how we could start collating that data with the help of our MNOs and also other government institutions, the one tasked to give us authentic information, which is Zamstats. Once that information is done, I could safely tell you that the domestic numbers that you've traditionally been hearing about, the 500,000, the 500K, are purely based on public amenities that we visit as domestic tourists. But this time around, we're going to look at sites such as the Livingstone of this world, the national parks, the Samfias of the Northern Circuit, Lusaka itself, Siavonga, and it's vice versa. It's not just the Lusaka people when they leave Lusaka, that's tourism. Even Livingstone people, some of us who live Livingstone, when we come to Lusaka, we're tourists in Lusaka, and we need to be accounted for in that particular manner. So I am very, very excited, ladies and gentlemen, that where we are at this point as a sector, we are on the rise. Where we are as a sector, we're open for business. We're encouraging the many Zambians, and I want to just publicly state to the many Zambians out there that our ministry, your ministry, is open for business. Come and invest in the sector. Do not just be consumers of the tourism products. And yes, as ministry, we're not sitting idle. We're listening to some of the challenges that you're faced with. Yes, there's this myth that tourism in Zambia for locals is expensive. And I think the team sitting with me here is able to demystify that myth. Tourism in Zambia is affordable. Tourism in Zambia is only based on how deep your pocket is. And we like to encourage people to say, do not live in the 5-star hotels. If you're going to look out for good things, yes, good things can be expensive sometimes, but we'd just like to encourage you to try things that are well within your reach, such as some of us do. We go to backpackers, we eat in markets, we do grab and goes, hot dogs, burgers, we go to Hungry Lion, KFC. Those are some of the things that are well within our reach. At the end of the day, the product that you see, the wildlife you see, the waterfalls you see are the same as those ones which the person who lives in a 5-star hotel, as well as I who's living in a backpacker, would be able to enjoy. Get on a bus. We've got fancy buses today, luxury buses, the UBZs, the Shaloms of this world. You can even carpool, get on a small little car, put fuel together and drive to Livingstone, drive to Siavonga, drive to Samfia. All those are possible. But I just want to indicate to you that yes, as government, we're working towards creating more seamless travel. Yes, people get to drive the self-drives within the parks themselves and even inter-towns with our colleagues from Ministry of Infrastructure, the Ministry of Transport. We're trying to see how best we could create seamless way to access some of these sites. And please, members of the media, be on hand to listen to some of the good things that we're trying to achieve so that we're able to grow this particular sector of ours, tourism. As I always say, if it ain't fun, then it ain't tourism.